Welcome to this practice plan course on Rootless Voicings. I've created a 5-minute masterclass on why Rootless Voicings are important to learn and master. If you haven't seen that, I'd recommend that you check it out now. You can find it in the related lessons section below. Here is the PDF practice planner that you can download for this course. As usual, you will notice that there are 6 exercises to work on, and each exercise has a number of drill variations. In this plan, we also cover some transcription exercises to improve your improvisation skills. Now that we're studying rootless voicings, this is a good time for us to explore right-hand melodic ideas. So for practice slot 1, we're going to work on our recognition of rootless voicings using a left-hand stride drill. We will do this for major, minor, and dominant chords, and I'll explain how I visualize these voicing shapes so that I can find them quickly and easily when I'm playing through jazz standards. Before we dive into the exercises, it will be nice to demonstrate how you can apply this style to your solo piano playing, and that way you can see the end result of working on these drills. I'm going to pick a couple of ballads, and I'll play the A sections in a stride style, hitting the bass note in the lower register, and then coming up and playing the left-hand voicings, with the melody on top in my right hand. Let's start with the tune Body and Soul. You should hear how effective this style can be when playing ballads, because we're playing the root notes way down in the lower register, and then coming up and playing these rootless voicings to add different colours and tensions on top. In the related 5-minute masterclass, we used the tune Misty. So let's quickly run over that too, just so you can see another example of these voicings in action. For this demonstration, I'm going to play the melody using a double octave in my right hand, and I'm going to play this further up the keyboard. So you can only see the bottom of that, but understand that I'm just playing the melody note doubled up an octave. Let's see how this sounds. So what's nice about this style is that we can cover a huge range of the keyboard and get a really big sound out of our ballad performances. So now that we've seen the end result, let's dive into these drills so that you know the exact exercises to follow so that you can play this style over any ballad in the jazz standard repertoire. We're going to drill these voicings around the circle of fifths. We'll play the root way down in the lower register of the piano, and then we'll bring our left hand up to play the rootless voicing. The first drill is the major ninth voicing, and we're going to do this for both type A and type B in stride style. So let me explain with the first few chords in the circle, and then we'll get straight into the exercise. So for C, which is the first chord, we'd play the root, and then we'd come up and play 3, 5, 7, and 9. And so what's nice about this is we're still hitting the root down, but then we're conditioning ourselves to see the rootless voicing. Later on we'll drop the root completely, but for now we're just going to hit the root, and then 3, 5, 7, and 9. So C, C major 9, F, F major 9, B flat, B flat major 9. So we're always playing 3, 5, 7, and 9. Let's now work all the way around the circle. Now let's do the same for type B. So this time, instead of playing 3, 5, 7, 9, we're going to hit the root still and play 7, 9, 3, and 5. And then for F, root, 7, 9, 3, and 5. So let's take that all the way around the circle. The second drill is to do the same for minor ninth, rootless voicings. So this follows the same principle, but now we're going to play minor 3, 5, minor 7, and 9. So we're just playing this, but with the 3 and 7 down a half step. So let's take that all the way around the circle. And again, let's do the same for type B. So now instead of being here, we're going to do flat 7, 9, flat 3, and 5. So again, starting in C. The final drill is to do it for dominant chords. Now this is the trickiest of the three because the shapes are harder to visualize. By isolating them like this will help you become familiar with the construction. For dominant voicings, there's two important inversions to visualize and to memorize. The first one, for C, we would have the root and then 3, 13, flat 7, and 9. So this is why the dominant chord's a bit different because we have the 13 in there. And you can hear that gives us a very crunchy left-hand voicing. So for C, C13, and then for F, 3, 13, flat 7, and 9. So I'm always looking at the 3 on the bottom, and then I can see the flat 7, and I see that the 13 just fits a half step below, and the 9 on top. So let's take that all the way around the circle. And then type B, instead of having 3, 13, flat 7, and 9, we would have flat 7, 9, 3, and 13. So this time I'm always visualizing the flat 7 on the bottom, and then the 9 and the 3 a whole step apart, and the 13 on top. So let's take this all the way around the circle. So remember to start in different keys. If you can't get through all of these exercises in the allocated time, make sure that you're not always starting in C or F or B flat. Make sure sometimes you start on the other side of the circle. In the next practice slot, we're going to add all of these chord types together into the major 2-5-1 progression. So for example, we'd play... That would be a 2-5-1 in C major. And so this is when things really come together and you can add this style of stride and rootless extended voicings to your playing.